Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today, as you can see by the title, we are going to do another battle video. So today it is Battle of the Drugstore Mascaras. I'm going to be putting to the test the CoverGirl Exhibitionist mascara, which is a newer one and newer to me as well, and the L'Oreal Lash Paradise. The L'Oreal Lash Paradise has been a very popular mascara for a while. People just love this one. I happen to love it as well. I just got a brand new tube, so I know it's going to be fresh, because the thing about this one, for me, is that as much as I love this mascara, I only really get maybe a month and a half to 2 at best out of this mascara, because it just starts to get really clumpy and become a big mess and dries out a little bit. And so I just don't get a full like 3 to 6 months out of this mascara. It's not a big deal because this is a drugstore mascara. However, you know, if you have to purchase this every like couple months, that does add up certainly more than if you were getting a different drugstore mascara. Now, my favorite mascara of all time is the Chanel Volume de Chanel mascara. So obviously it's still not going to add up to that. But something that I enjoy from the drugstore helps me sort of space out that time before I have to repurchase a Chanel mascara, because that one is obviously more expensive, and I certainly enjoy trying out new mascaras anyway. The Chanel one I typically will save for the times where I really want my lashes to look amazing, and you know, it just feels worth it to wear my expensive mascara. I do wear it plenty, but you know, it's just nice to have other options when maybe I'm only wearing mascara for half of the day or something like that. But recently I tried out the CoverGirl Exhibitionist mascara, and people were talking about how amazing this was. And so I wanted to give it a try, because I love trying new mascaras, and I love trying drugstore mascaras. And this one I've been using for a few weeks now, maybe not even that long. So it's been a short period of time, but I've already decided that I definitely love this one, but it's not so old that it won't be, you know, good against a brand new L'Oreal Lash Paradise. But I don't know if this is going to last longer than the Lash Paradise. You know, I'm talking about how the Lash Paradise will only last me a good month and a half to maybe 2 months, but I haven't had this one long enough to be able to see if this one lasts longer on me. So that would definitely be something that would, you know, make me prefer this one, maybe. We'll see how they kind of hold up against each other, because I'm going to use one on one side, one on the other, so that we can really see the difference. But I just felt like this one was similar to me to the Lash Paradise. Now, when I hold them up against each other, I might notice more of a difference. And of course, when I wear them, I might notice more of a difference. But I feel like this is a similar idea. It has that sort of really fluffy, natural bristled type of wand that has almost like an hourglass shape, you know, similar to the Too Faced Better Than Sex. There are a lot of mascaras that are like that now, especially, but I really do enjoy that style. My lashes are fairly long to begin with, because I use Revitalash. If you didn't know that, I use Revitalash, and I have for probably almost a year now. Has it been more than that? I don't know, but I'll never go back. My lashes are so much longer than they ever used to be, and so I just want to build up as much volume as possible. Length is great too, but I'm much more focused on the volume, so mascaras like this are really good for me. So I have both of these in the sort of blackest type of formula. That's what I prefer. So this is in Blackest Black. This one is called Very Black. So there you go. Now let me show you the wands up against each other so that we can kind of see how similar they actually are. And then I'm going to apply the same amount of coats on both sides. Okay, so we can see they are very, very similar wands. The CoverGirl is this one in the silver, and then the L'Oreal is on the other side. So it looks like the actual like wand is, or not the wand, but the stick part, I don't know what you call that part, that's longer on the L'Oreal side, but the actual wand is shorter on the L'Oreal side. Not much, but just a little bit. And I would say that the CoverGirl is a little bit more of an actual hourglass shape. This one is more of like a slight hourglass. So that's the difference between the wands. So we'll see how they apply. I'm still going to apply my favorite MAC mascara. This is the Extended Play Giggle Black Lash on my bottom lashes. So we will just kind of do that, but I'm going to do that after. So I'm going to probably do, I would say, 3 coats of mascara. That's usually my go-to. So I'm going to start with the CoverGirl one. And I'm not so great at applying it in this mirror in my phone here, but I'm going to do my very best. And I might do some other coats in my close-up mirror just to be able to see better. Okay, so that is one coat of the CoverGirl. And we will do this side. And then I'll do them up close in my mirror for the second and third coats just so that it doesn't dry out too quickly and I can kind of zip through this part. And again, this is a brand new tube of the L'Oreal, so I know it's not going to be as clumpy as it can get. And I would always apply usually 3 coats or so, 2 to 3 coats. So that's why I'm going to do that. Okay. So you can comment down below if you see any difference right now. I'm going to look up close in my mirror and I'm going to do 2 more coats on each side and I'll come back and show you what that looks like. Okay, so I have 3 coats on both sides. So right now, I don't notice a huge difference. They're pretty similar. I think that I have maybe slightly, like it's very, very minor. I think I might have a tiny bit more length with the L'Oreal, but I did notice that it started to clump up a little more quickly with the L'Oreal than with the CoverGirl. But I think the end result is pretty spot on, similar. You let me know in the comments below if you notice anything different. But obviously what I'm also trying to see is if the wear is different. So I'm going to check in with you at the end of the evening when I plan to take off my makeup and see how they look and see if there's a difference. For me right now, if they look exactly as they do later, if they look exactly the same as each other later, I would kind of feel like I could use either one interchangeably, you know, whichever one would maybe be on sale, whichever one, you know, is having some type of special at CVS or whatever it is, that's maybe the one that I would repurchase first. So if you like that style of wand, if you like that look, then I think at least right now, they're pretty comparable. Like I said, there's maybe a tiny bit more length with the L'Oreal, but again, it clumped up a little faster. It was still fine, but I had to be a little bit more careful with, you know, the second coat, and it didn't start to like have that difficulty until the third coat with the CoverGirl one. Now, like I mentioned before, I'm gonna have to see how long the CoverGirl one lasts on me, because with the L'Oreal, I definitely can't use it past like the 2-month mark. So if the CoverGirl one lasts longer, then that would give that one a leg up for me. So if you have used the CoverGirl one for a longer period of time, and you've maybe used the L'Oreal one as well, or even if you haven't, let me know in the comments below if what you've experienced with that one, because I'd be curious about that, and that is something that I'm gonna have to wait and see. As far as pricing and the amount of product that you get, the CoverGirl one has 9 milliliters or 0.3 fluid ounces in it, and it costs $10.99. And the L'Oreal one, you get 8.5 milliliters or 0.28 fluid ounces, but this one is $9.99. So very, very comparable, almost exactly the same, just depending on, you know. And right now I'm looking at Ulta, I'm talking about the prices from Ulta because sometimes prices can vary, especially like if you go to Walmart, a lot of times drugstore items are cheaper at Walmart. At least on Ulta, that's what these things cost. And right now the L'Oreal one is on sale for $6.99. So there you go. So, you know, you have to keep an eye out for those type of things. When it comes to drugstore items, I try to buy whatever is on sale, you know, whatever has a special deal. You know, sometimes CVS will have, you know, if you buy $10 with L'Oreal, you'll get $5 extra care bucks back. And that's basically free money as long as you use it before it expires, of course. So I always will buy drugstore things that way. If I buy them full price, I make sure that I'm getting some money back with CVS or something like that. Otherwise, I try to wait until there's some type of sale. So just something to keep in mind when you're buying drugstore, you know, you definitely don't need to buy them full price. So this is what it looks like right now. Like I said, so far they are pretty comparable and I would use either one. But we're just gonna have to see if there's a difference later on. Maybe there will be, maybe there won't be. We'll just have to see. Just so that you can have an idea of what else I have going on my face, that's notable at least. On my eyes, I have the Blush Tribe Hasina 2 palette, and on my lips, I lined with ColourPop Bound, and my lipstick is Clinique Beige Pop. So I will have to just check in with you later and let you know how everything looks. So I'll see you in a little bit. Hello everyone. So it has been quite a long time. It's been probably 8 hours or so. I don't remember exactly when I applied the mascara, but it's about that amount of time, so I think we're good to inspect how things are looking. So I don't know if you'll be able to tell really here, but I was just kind of looking up close in my super magnified bright mirror to see if I could notice a difference. And I do think that it is very, very slight, so it's not a huge difference. But I think that the L'Oreal side, this is the L'Oreal side, I do think that the curl is maybe a little bit more pronounced than on this side. Let me know if you think that I'm kind of crazy with this, but I think that there's a little bit more of a lift with this one. I think that I'm seeing that. And again, it's not noticeable unless you know and you're really, really, really looking for it. I don't think that it's obvious. I think that there's maybe a little more fluffiness on this side. Like this one is maybe looking a little bit more like clumpy. Again, not a huge difference. But I think that this has maintained a little bit more of the body than this one has. I don't know that it would mean that I wouldn't buy this one again. And like I had mentioned earlier, I know that this one doesn't last very long on me. So meaning like, you know, I can only use the mascara for maybe 2 months before I have to kind of just, even though there's still product in there, I have to just toss it because it just gets too out of control, clumpy and like gunky, and it just becomes a mess. I don't know what it is with that mascara, but I've heard that from other people. That's not just me. And I don't know yet how this one will do. I don't know that I've heard anything about that yet from people, but it is still a newer mascara. So again, if you have had that mascara for a little while, let me know what your experience has been, because that's something to consider as well. I think when it comes down to it, I would use both. I don't think that I would be disappointed with using the CoverGirl one. I mean, I think it looks great, but I do think that I prefer the L'Oreal maybe just a tiny bit more if we're not talking about, you know, a price here, because, you know, if the CoverGirl one lasts longer as, you know, a tube of mascara, well then, you know, even though they're pretty comparable in price, that's going to be a better value. Plus, I didn't mention this earlier, but CoverGirl recently became cruelty-free. And so that's a really nice thing. Even if you're not somebody who buys only cruelty-free makeup, I'm not, but I certainly appreciate that, and I would love for all brands to become cruelty-free. So I think that it's nice to support that company when L'Oreal is not a cruelty-free brand. It's not that they test on animals, because they don't. It's just that they sell in China, and China requires animal testing. So, I mean, there's way more to it, but that's essentially what it comes down to. So, so I think you just have to decide for yourself what is important to you and which brand you want to support, and, you know, or if it just comes down to whichever one is on sale and just buy both of them. I think they're both really good. I think, you know, I like them both, but I think it's interesting to see, you know, again, let me know in the comments below if you're seeing what I'm seeing, but I do think that the L'Oreal wins out just maybe a tiny, tiny bit. All right, everyone, that is it. I am going to now take off my makeup and relax a little bit before I go to bed. So I hope that you enjoyed this little battle of the drugstore mascaras video. I thought it would be a fun thing to do, you know, ever since I started trying the CoverGirl one. And I had pretty recently just put into my empties a bottle of the L'Oreal mascara. I thought, oh, you know, if I buy a new tube of it, I can kind of put them head to head and see, you know, which one is really better, because they seem like they would be pretty similar. So let me know in the comments below if you've tried either of these mascaras and what your experience has been, whether you like both of them, whether you don't like either of them. I think, you know, some people go for this type of mascara, some people just don't. But also let me know in the comments below if there are other products that you want to see me battle, or what else you'd like to see in general. I would love to hear your suggestions. If you like this video, please make sure and give it a big thumbs up. That really does help out my channel so much. I post videos every single Monday and Thursday, 8 p.m. Central Time. If you're not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. I would love for you to stick around, and I really hope to see you next time. Bye.